10 Scariest X-Files moments of all time. What if your childhood cartoons could harm you badly? Or does your government allow alien abductions in exchange for genetic knowledge? These 10 moments in the X-Files won't just scare you, they will make you question your reality. If you like twisted truth, hit subscribe because we're just getting started. 10. Season 2, Episode 2, The Flukemen. Imagine you are a city worker wading through waist-deep sewage in Newark and something glides by your leg. You point your flashlight in the direction, and that's when you see it. A slimy, pale humanoid with a sucker in place of the mouth. The flukeman. Half man and half parasite that bites its victims and injects larvae that develop to become parasitic flatworms inside the host until death, slowly taking over the human body. However, what makes it terrifying is that it wasn't entirely fictional. It was based on real reports of parasitic infections. The creator drew inspiration from urban legends about unexplained creatures and phenomena lurking in vulnerable places, linking the flukemen's origins to radioactive waste from Chernobyl. The very real anxieties of the human mind about contamination, mutation, and how nature retaliates when we poison it. 9. Season 1, Episode 13, Beyond the Sea. Scully's father dies unexpectedly, and dealing with the grief, she collides with a psychic death row inmate, Luther Lee Boggs. In a terrifying performance, Boggs claims he can hear Sully's father and others who have passed away. Scully starts to believe him as he tells her things he couldn't possibly know, digging deep into fear, trauma, and faith. This time, the horror isn't out there. It's the grief and doubt inside you. The scene where he starts whispering in her father's voice is spine-tingling. Far scarier, it's existential. Do you think that the people that we lose are ever completely gone? 8. Season 1, Episode 11, Eve. Two identical little girls, two simultaneous murders, one terrifying question. Are they twins, or something beyond our wildest imagination? This wasn't your average child killer horror trope. The 11th episode, Eve, was the X-Files' first full exploration of genetic engineering gone rogue, and it wasn't easy to digest. Two men die in their separate homes at the same time and with an identical cause of death. Their daughters, spitting images of each other. They turn out to be a result of a discontinued government experiment known as the Litchfield Project. Originally designed to breed humans, Eve and Adam, with extra intellect, strength, and speed, took an unfortunate turn when Eve began showing homicidal tendencies. What can be more chilling than an innocent child who is far smarter than any suspect or trained investigator? But these girls weren't the first, and they won't be the last, because an even darker and violent experiment is going to make you skip a beat at number 4. 7. Season 2, Episode 14, Die Hand die Verletzt. While parent-teacher meetings are scary for all, this one summons hell. A teenager's death at a conservative high school led to Mulder and Scully uncovering that the staff of the school is a part of a fake satanic cult. The arrival of a new substitute teacher, Phyllis Paddock, stirs the coven, and things start getting out of hand. The staff tries to back out, but something otherworldly finally answers. But answers to what exactly? Die Hand, die Verletzt, a Satanist chant meaning the hand that wounds. Sacrifices. Snakes crawl from sinks and possessions. A teacher who prays but is swallowed alive by the floor. It's pure 90s horror at its best. Do you think fake belief can still summon real evil? Well, yes, because the devil doesn't care if you're serious, just that you call. The episode ended with Paddock purposefully smiling, depicting that she was never on the faculty list. Because she is not human. Creeped out yet? Hit subscribe if you haven't already, because the top 3 will haunt you long after the video ends. 6. Season 8, Episode 4, The Roadrunners. During a murder investigation in this episode, Scully is stranded in a desert town in Utah. where people are extraordinarily helpful and silent. Exploring the mystery of an unfamiliar lump inside a man's spine, she's abducted the very people who pretended to support her. Their reality? A cult that worships a slug as the second coming of Jesus. The believers tie her to a bed and tell her how honorable it is to be the chosen one. The worm is then inserted into her body as a permanent guest. What follows are gurgling, wet noises, squelches that burrow into your ears and stay there, making the viewers both nauseous and deeply disturbed. Scully is helpless, isolated, and being violated by a living organism. Eventually, her partner, Doggett, finds her and cuts the worm out, but you are warned. You will hear that slimy squelch in your nightmares. 5. Season 1, Episode 20, Tombs. What if the monster lived under your bed or in your pipes? That's Eugene Victor Toombs, a soft-spoken, yellow-eyed humanoid who can squeeze his body through impossibly tight spaces. Chimneys, sewer gates, vents, or your bathroom drain, no space is safe from him. He is waiting. He waits for 30 years before coming out of his cocoon that is woven from newspaper scraps and bile. That's right, reeking of rot and yesterday's lies, this creature goes around town to harvest 5 human livers before going back into hibernation. The creepiest part is that he does it all without making any sound. Just a slight grin, a blank stare, and limbs that are stretched to unimaginable lengths. Toombs is not an alien or demon, but something ancient, and you won't see him coming until it's far too late. If you're still here and not checking your bathroom, subscribe now. 4. Season 2, Episode 23. Soft Light. Death has never looked as quiet as it did in the episode Soft Light of Season 2. Dr. Chester Banton is on the run. From the law? From an enemy? No. He is running from his very own shadow. An experiment with dark matter resulted in his shadow becoming a lethal force. It's sucking everything into a pile of ash and dust. No warning, no sound, just a creeping shadow that kills anything it touches. To make things worse, the government starts weaponizing his condition instead of a man in need of dire help. Narrating a haunting sci-fi tragedy, this episode depicts a creeping shadow curling towards someone as they back against a wall. He sees his death gradually coming up to him, and he can do nothing about it. 3. Season 5, Episode 9, Folie à deux. So you're working your shift, desperately waiting for the clock to strike 5 when your coworker bursts into your cubicle, wide-eyed and trembling. He claims that the boss is a fish-eating insect monster. You laugh it off, right? Well, not in this world. A telemarketer named Gary Lambert starts believing that his supervisor is a creature who turns employees into zombies. Investigator Mulder investigates the matter and finds people walking as mindless bodies that only look alive. Folie à deux is a psychological disorder where delusions pass between people, creating a shared psychotic disorder. To prove himself, Lambert takes the building hostage, and Mulder finds himself helpless on a hospital bed, screaming as a corpse stands by his bed. The episode plays between the ideas of madness and reality. What if your reality is the real illusion after all? I bet your 9 to 5 will never feel the same again. 2. Season 1, Episode 8, Ice. The X-Files also gave us a frozen paranoia classic when a science team is found dead in an Alaskan outpost, but not from cold. The cause of their deaths is a parasitic worm that takes over your mind. The infections breed madness, and Mulder and Scully fear they are next. It's a brutally tense episode where trusting your ally might turn out to be a lethal decision. When can you tell if someone's infected? Exactly when it's too late. With no signs of any backup, this episode stands as one of the earliest examples of sci-fi horror TV. Sometimes, some things should stay buried Because the deadliest organisms do not exist in the extraterrestrial, but on our planet. 1. Season 4, Episode 2, Home. Some nightmares don't wear masks or carry a lethal weapon. They live next door. The episode begins with an innocent American setting, a baseball game in a quiet rural town of Pennsylvania. But then, some children find small, almost doll-like hands sticking out of the sand. A baby is found buried alive, beaten and deformed. Something is very, very wrong. A mundane day turns into one of the most disturbing episodes in TV history, after Mulder and Scully discover the Peacock family. Inbred brothers are living in a decaying farmhouse. Their mother, a limbless and eyeless woman who lives under a bed and pushes them to continue their bizarre lineage. The brothers are known for their animalistic and monstrous tendencies and carry a primal fear of anyone stepping into their home. Delving into the dangers of inbreeding and the horrific consequences of isolation, the episode's disturbing visuals led to Fox's refusal to air it again for years. Viewers, too, were left bewildered by its raw brutality. And if you ever hear wheels screeching on an empty road, run. The peacocks don't knock. If you love peeling back the layers of TV's creepiest moments, hit that subscribe button before something peels you back.